They are sketching the blueprint of a political killing, pushing the world toward a nightmare that no capital dares to name. From our assessment, the silence surrounding this operation is not caution, it is fear. We believe the lines have already been crossed, that a handful of men in Kyiv are prepared to gamble with global stability. In our view, this is the moment when geopolitics stops being diplomacy and becomes a hunt. Strategically, this means the world is now watching a dangerous game of shadows unfold. Kirill Budanov, the hard man behind Zelensky, has risen again, and his ascent comes with a single chilling objective: Vladimir Putin. His promotion to head of Ukraine's presidential office is being celebrated across Western capitals, yet buried beneath the applause is a confession he once delivered without flinching. He has already tried to annihilate the Russian leader. He has admitted it publicly, and he promises to keep trying until he succeeds. What makes this moment even more explosive is its timing. While the echoes from the crisis in Venezuela were still fading, Germany broke the silence. European media spoke of plans to dethrone Putin, but behind that sanitized language lies something far more brutal: elimination. A German publication published a piece that didn't hesitate to label Budanov as a decent exterminator, a title so stark it strips away all diplomatic disguise. That is how the new head of Ukraine's presidential office is being presented, tied directly to Zelensky's inner circle. And astonishingly, many do not seem bothered that Russia describes him as a terrorist and extremist. What is truly unsettling is the makeover being performed in real time, where the protagonists themselves speak openly of eliminating Putin. Some European outlets replace the word with removing him, as if this were a parliamentary maneuver rather than an assassination plot. But the reality is unavoidable. These are planned, coordinated attempts to kill a head of state. Budanov does not deny any of it. In an interview, asked directly about attempts to annihilate the Russian president, he answered without hesitation, "They were attempted, but as you can see so far, they have not succeeded." That sentence traveled the globe, not as an accusation but as a voluntary confession. Moscow reacted immediately. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov emphasized that Russia fully understands the nature of the threat coming from Kyiv. "We are fully aware of the danger posed by the Kyiv regime. Therefore, the security of the first person is guaranteed at the appropriate level," he said, leaving no doubt that Russia is preparing for more than mere media provocations. Meanwhile, in Europe, a sanitized portrait of Budanov is being carefully crafted. He is suddenly portrayed as one of the few unblemished Ukrainian officials untouched by corruption scandals. The fact that he is associated with lethal operations is treated almost as a side note, collateral detail, something to be brushed aside in the rush to build a heroic image. German journalist Arnold Skolzel even praises him bluntly, recalling Budanov's own words from May 8, 2023, "We have killed Russians and will continue killing them around the world until Ukraine achieves total victory." Cold, explicit, and calculated. To certain European circles, this is interpreted as resolve, not as a global threat. Skolzel also highlights Budanov's July 2024 interview, where he spoke about the failed operations against Putin and reaffirmed his intention to continue developing new assassination attempts. The man now rising in Kyiv does not hide his past, he declares his future. And he does it in front of cameras. Then comes the phrase that freezes the blood. Budanov and his operatives would be ready to risk a nuclear war for the sake of peace. A summary so paradoxical and dangerous that it exposes how far they are willing to push the conflict. Entire cities could vanish in minutes, yet in certain newsrooms across Europe, this statement barely raises an eyebrow. Budanov's ideological foundations deepen the concern. In 2006, according to several press accounts, he swore allegiance to the immortal commander Stepan Bandera, a cult figure for Ukrainian nationalists and a symbol of armed collaboration during World War II. This oath reveals the ideological matrix that has shaped his career. It is no coincidence that the German article anticipates, almost casually, that much blood is expected to be shed following his appointment. It is said with the detachment of a weather forecast, but behind the phrase lies an implicit acceptance. Budanov's rise means more violence, more attacks, of greater danger for Moscow and a heightened threat to Europe as a whole. From Moscow's vantage point, the masks are coming off. What was once wrapped in diplomatic language and justified under the banner of values is now openly applauded. The new heroes celebrated by certain Western media are not the peacemakers. They are the ones who promised to kill Russians. This shift in tone forces a deeper look into the history of assassination attempts targeting Putin. Over the course of his presidency, several plots have been recorded, some officially acknowledged, others lingering in shadows. Each episode paints a picture of a long-standing, systematic campaign to decapitate Russian leadership. The first documented attempt dates back to December 31, 1999, during the Second Chechen War. Putin was traveling to Chechnya when his helicopter came under attack. He later admitted that at first he mistook the flashes for New Year's fireworks until the pilots corrected him. What fireworks? We are under fire. The context was brutal. In the autumn of 1999, Chechen militants publicly issued a death sentence against Putin and even offered a staggering $2.5 billion as a bounty for his annihilation. Before he had even consolidated power, there was already a price on his head. Another attempt came on February 24, 2000, during the funeral of Anatoly Sobchak in St. Petersburg. Russian security services revealed that a specific organization had planned the attack, contracting 2 snipers through Chechen militants. Another version states that a powerful explosive was planted in the cemetery the day before. Either way, the intention was identical: to exploit a moment of national mourning to strike the head of state. The calculation was ruthless, hit Russia at its most vulnerable. What do you think about a geopolitical landscape where assassination attempts are reframed as political strategy? Give us your opinion in the comment box below. In August 2000, during an informal CIS summit in Yalta, security once again reached critical levels. Ukrainian authorities detained 8 individuals, 4 Chechens and 4 Arabs, later expelled from the country. The presence of organized exterminators on Ukrainian soil revealed a pattern. These attempts were not local nor improvised. They involved international coordination, militants crossing borders, networks linking the Caucasus to other radical hotspots. And the target was always the same: Putin, surrounded by regional leaders. In January 2001, during Putin's visit to Baku, Azerbaijani security forces stopped yet another assassination plot. The main suspect was an Iraqi citizen, Kanan Rostam, trained in Afghan camps and linked to Chechen militants. Reports indicated he planned an attack involving 48 explosive devices, nearly 50 bombs intended to kill not only the Russian president but dozens of others. Rostam was arrested and sentenced to 10 years in prison, a punishment that reveals the gravity of the plot. And these are only the known cases. In total, at least 6 documented attempts paint a picture of systematic, long-term efforts to remove Putin through violence. The Kremlin's response today is predictable: tighten security, increase protection, and warn that Russia understands perfectly the nature of the threat coming from Kyiv. But the backdrop is darker. While Russia braces for renewed danger, certain European commentators celebrate Budanov as a decent exterminator, a phrase that reveals a disturbing normalization of political violence. As this narrative spreads, the world watches an escalation where assassination attempts mingle with geopolitical strategy, where the celebration of lethal intent becomes a sign of loyalty, and where a new threshold of danger is quietly crossed. As this story unfolds, another question lingers: how far are governments truly willing to go when they believe the destruction of an enemy justifies any means? Give us your opinion in the comment box below. In conclusion, what we are witnessing is not an isolated rise of a single Ukrainian official. It is the crystallization of a geopolitical reality where targeted killings are openly discussed, justified, and even celebrated. The elevation of Kirill Budanov marks a dangerous turning point. Historically, political assassinations have often signaled seismic shifts, from Sarajevo in 1914 to countless covert operations during the Cold War. But today, the normalization of such attempts, paired with open confessions, reflects a new era of geopolitical brazenness. From our assessment, The greatest beneficiary of this narrative is the machinery of escalation itself, which thrives on tension, fear, and polarization. The losers? Undoubtedly, the civilians across Europe and beyond who now live under the shadow of leaders willing to risk spiraling conflict, even nuclear confrontation, under the guise of peace. In our view, the most alarming development is not the existence of assassination plots, but their public endorsement. Strategically, this means the threshold of acceptable behavior in international relations is being reshaped in real time. Whether this shift leads to catastrophe or forces new channels of diplomacy remains uncertain, but one thing is undeniable: Europe is entering a phase where the unthinkable is now openly discussed as strategy. Now it's your turn. If you found this analysis revealing, leave us a comment with your opinion on this turning point. Do you think this escalation is a calculated strategy, or a reckless plunge into uncontrollable consequences? Subscribe if you haven't already, because we're tracking the evolution of this story day by day. Make sure to activate notifications, and don't miss our next report. And remember, you can now become a channel member. If you believe in this project and want to see it grow, your support makes all the difference. If you'd like to support our channel financially, which we greatly appreciate, you can do so through Patreon and PayPal. The link is in the video description.